Hey everybody, it's Don, and today I want to give you 5 steps to crafting the perfect follow-up letter for after a job interview. I mean, you probably know that following up after a job interview improves your chances for getting the job, right? You knew that. Now, you might have heard the old phrase taught in sales training classes where they teach the sale is in the follow-up. And what that means is the more you follow up with your client, the better chances you have of them buying from you. And a job interview is no different. You see, following up after a job interview increases your chances for getting the job. So today, I just want to share with you a simple 5-point strategy you can use to write an effective thank you letter for after your next job interview. And then after I do that, I'm going to walk you through an example of a follow-up letter that I wrote that will kind of put all these steps together, and you can see what that looks like. So let's dive right in so we can get you started on crafting your own follow-up letter. Now, the first thing you want to do is keep the content of your letter direct and specific. And the overall length of your letter should be short. You don't want to give your interviewer a big, long thank you letter because they're never going to read it. The shorter it is, the more likely it is it's going to get read. And your letter should focus on expressing your interest in the company while thanking them for their time. The second thing you want to do is refer to key points from your conversation with your interviewer and then highlight your qualifications. And that will help them see the connection between your past experience and how it can benefit them in the new role. The third thing you want to do, if it's appropriate, include a personal touch by referencing some elements of your conversation. I mean, for example, you might close your letter with wishing the interviewer's son or daughter on a great performance on their piano recital. Now, obviously, the step is optional. It depends if you have any kind of personal elements that you discuss. I mean, sometimes interviews take that direction where you kind of talk a little bit about each other's family or lives or, what you enjoy doing. So if you do discover something like that, you can kind of just put a little one-liner in your letter, wishing them, good luck or thanks or, whatever it is, or, good luck on your son graduating college. Could be anything. So next one here, number 4, maintain a warm yet professional tone throughout your letter. You don't want to be super businesslike. You don't want to be too casual. You see, if you come across as personable and approachable, this is going to make you just look and sound more professional. And then lastly, treat your follow-up letter as if it were part of the interview process. So you want to avoid sounding too stiff and cold, as it may come off as a generic form letter you found on the internet somewhere. However, if you're too casual, then you might come across as just unserious, which that's not good either. So let's take a look at a sample letter here that you can copy and use, and this will kind of help you write your own letter. So first thing here, you have subject line, thank you, a media sales interview. You say, "Dear Mr. York, I can hardly wait to begin working for you. I appreciate the time you spent interviewing me earlier this week for the advertising position. I am so excited at the prospect of working in the media sales department for such a high-profile TV station like yours. I have the experience that KFCS TV needs to maintain and help them increase their advertising sales. I can also bring experience in developing advertising and marketing campaigns to help boost the services that your advertising sales department currently offers. I believe that my 14 years of experience at WKRP Radio in Cincinnati uniquely qualifies me for this position. I appreciate your time and hope to hear from you soon. Sincerely, Mike Cardone." And there you have it. A simple 5-point strategy that will help you craft an effective follow-up letter of your own, and that way you can send it right after your interview. And when you follow these tips, you will leave a lasting impression, and it will increase the chances of securing the job for you. Now, I would also suggest sending your letter in the same day, or if it's too late in the day, it's like 5 or 6 o'clock, then send it the next day. But at the end of the interview, ask your interviewer if they mind if you follow up with them in 1 to 2 weeks. This way, you can ask them for their email address if you don't already have it. And that way, it makes it a lot easier to follow up, because one of the biggest problems I get, they're like, "Don, I went on an interview, I want to send a follow-up letter, but I don't have their email address. What should I do?" Well, if you ask for it during the interview, then you'll get it. Now, if you're watching this video after the fact and you want to get their email address, one of the things you can do is you can kind of look through their company directory and see if you can find it online, or if you can just find one email address that they have online. Let's just say, maybe it's somebody in shipping. Maybe it's, Joe Smith in shipping, and his email address is jsmith at, ABC Corp. Well, now you have their naming convention for their email addresses. So now you can just apply that to your interviewer. And if your interviewer's name was Mark Cardone, you could probably assume that his email address is mcardone at ABC Corp. And that way, you found it. But it does take a little bit of digging. I mean, everybody's email address, I think, is in some way, shape, or form is out there on the internet. You just have to be creative in the way that you search for it and try to find it. Another way you can do it is you can always just call them up on the phone and just talk to the receptionist and ask them, for, Mark Cardone's email address or whoever. And that way you can send it off. And when you do that, you are going to position yourself, far above everybody else, because I work with a lot of people, and a lot of people don't send follow-up letters, and it's one of the worst things they can do. So to help you go a little bit farther on your next interview, I have a great guide here. This is called Perfect Thank You Letters. Now, this book has about 100 different sample thank you letters from 20 different industries. So if that one sample that I shared with you isn't enough, you can get this book from Job Interview Tools, and I'll put a link in the description below of where this book is at. But this will help you get a better idea for if you just want more examples for how to write a thank you letter. This guide's going to do it. And just one last thing here, why not? I've got a great checklist here. This is going to cover all the steps that you need to do. It even covers on the back here, it even tells you that one of the things that you need to do is follow up after the interview, and it tells you when to do it and how to do it. And you can get this from jobinterviewtools.com/checklist. And my gift to you, just for spending some time with me today. That, my friend, is all I have for you. And if you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye now.